So today we are stepping back from a sea of 4-2-3-1s with something a little bit different. So let's just jump in and see what I mean. Yes, we have done a lot of 4-2-3-1s lately, and I sadly have got a couple more in the works, so we'll start with them a little while later. But I wanted to break things up a little bit. This is the 5-3-2 Counter United. It is using Manchester United. Unfortunately, there's no description. It's in a couple of collections, the United collection, so it's everything Manchester United. But there's no screenshots of how they did or any description of how they did or anything like that with this tactic. But it seemed like the creator was using Manchester United in mind. But we're going to check it out with our three teams of Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League and our championship side of Ipswich Town. So with all that said, let's just dive into the Premier League and see how it worked. Well, as we take a look at the Premier League, you can see it didn't work all that well. Now, the first thing I would say is even just looking at the tactic itself, it seems to have a lot of players behind the midfield line. So right off the bat, I would say that's probably not the greatest of tactics to work in the Premier League, just because FM doesn't like the defensive tactics, to me at least, from what I've seen. They like the all-out attacking. So three at the back, you got three in the midfield, two wing backs. Probably is going to be a tough call for the Premier League. As you can see, Liverpool not doing all that great, 70 points. You get 62 goals for, only 29 goal differential. Aston Villa almost making relegation by, 7 points or thereabouts? So, yeah, it was a tough one this season. Checking out Liverpool's domestic cup run, out in the Carabao Cup 5th round, 0-2 to Chelsea, and then out in the FA Cup semi-finals, 1-2 to Arsenal. They do get all the way to the Europa League final, unfortunately losing out to Napoli 1-0. So overall for Liverpool, Europa League you get runners-up, semifinals of the FA Cup, but overall, yeah, I would say they definitely want a redo on this season. Liverpool squad, unfortunately, they don't have a lot of green, but I wasn't expecting a whole lot anyway. 22 goals for Mohamed Salah, only 14 for Nunez. Kanate gets 14. That is insane. Must be very good in the set pieces. Assists 17 for Robertson, 12 for Szoboszlai. An average rating, you get Connor Bradley in there, but Virgil gets a 7-10. Flipping the script to Aston Villa now, Carabao Cup quarterfinals 0-1 against Arsenal is where you drop out, and FA Cup 5th round 0-1 against, Arsenal. And just like Liverpool, they get to the Europa Conference League final, lose out in extra time to Fiorentina. That one hurts. So overall, worse than Liverpool in the Premier League, no question about it. 15th is awful. You definitely want to do better. And as I always say, if you take control of this, you will definitely do a little bit better. You're at 42 points. 46 is ninth place. So I think you could make that, maybe not 59. That's kind of a tough deal, but how good a player you are, but I think you could definitely make up to that ninth place spot. Runners up in the Conference League is fantastic. If you're not going to win it, I guess. Everything else, Squad wise, yeah, not too much in the green, no question about it. But goals, 15 for Zaniolo, 13 for Moussa Diaby. Assists, you get Lucas Digne with a flat 10, no others in double digits. And then for average rating, Robin Olsen and Douglas Luiz are up there, but 15 starts at a 707. But you get Zaniolo with 43 starts at 698. That's the tops. Data Hub, Liverpool really not doing as well as you'd expect. Attack. I guess you're not expecting much with such a defensive tactic, or at least so many people behind. But attacking wise, they didn't do anything. Defensively, they didn't do too bad at all, though. Goals per game, only 1.63. 0.87 conceded, 0.81 XG against. It's actually just about average, maybe a little higher than average for them. Aston Villa, on the other hand, looks painful. They do have some defensive pieces, but, look at this. 0.95 goals per game, 1.55 conceded, 1.64 XG against. Yeah, it just didn't work on either side. So looking at this screen for the Premier League stats, it didn't work, unfortunately, in this save at least. Liverpool with 1.84 points per game, Aston Villa all the way down in 15th with only 1.11. But the rest of the stats, you got most goals. Liverpool do make the list in 7th with 62, fewest shots against in 3rd with 272, most possession in 8th with 55 or 50%, most tackles won. Aston Villa actually making the list with 951 in 1st, Liverpool in 6th with 875. You get Liverpool in 7th with best pass completion at 87% and most shots for in 5th with a flat 500. But now with that happening in the Premier League, how do you think Ipswich Town did in the Championship? Well, if you guessed 4th place, you'd be dead on. I can't say very well done. I guess it's fairly well done for the Championship, but the Championship is a little bit more suited for this type of tactic. They're not doing an all-out, flat-out attacking tactic like you'd hope for a Liverpool or something in the Premier League. But fourth place, 83 goals, definitely not first. 87 points. You actually could pick it up to third place. I definitely think maybe even a 91 with Leeds. If you got to second place, automatic promotion, which would be fantastic. Here, they did get to the playoff finals, unfortunately losing out to Southampton 1-0. Domestic Cup run for Ipswich Town. Carabao Cup second round is where they drop out to Southampton. And they lose out only 0-1 in the FA Cup fourth round to Manchester City. That's not bad. Overall, not an awful season. I mean, fourth place isn't something to shake a stick at. We've definitely seen higher with more attacking tactics in FM. But overall, it was okay. Squad-wise for Ipswich Town, unfortunately, only 4 in the green. Sadly, though, I'm not expecting much with this team in this save. 25 goals, though, for Hurst is 20 more than Connor Chaplin, who only has 5, interestingly enough. Leif Davis, though, of course, with 20 assists. And then average rating, Marcus Harness gets up there, but Leif Davis with a 723. Championship stats. Ipswich in fourth place with most points per game, 1.78. Most goals, though, in fourth with 88. Fewest shots against in seventh with 452. Most dribbles made in eighth with 676. Most tackles won up there with 1,114. And then most shots were in second with 581. So let us take a look at this tactic itself. It is a cautious mentality. So right off the bench, I mean, even if you didn't look at the shape, we're looking at defensive tactics here, which again, FM really loves the attacking side, not so much the defensive side, especially in the Premier League. But we are starting out with a sweeper keeper in support, central defenders on the left and the right in defend. We get a libero in support in the middle, wingbacks in attack on the left and the right, a ball-winning midfielder in support next to an advanced playmaker in support next to a box-to-box in support, a target forward in support next to a poacher in attack. Again, cautious mentality, not a lot of player instructions here, but in possession, attacking width is wide, passing directness is shorter, tempo is slightly higher, mixed crosses and run at defense. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly, and then out of possession, a mid-block line of engagement, a lower defensive line, trigger press more often, get stuck in, and drop off more. So how did it do overall for our 3 teams? Well, I mean, I definitely think if you took control of this, you could definitely do a better job than these teams did. Unfortunately, Ipswich lie in 4th place. We have seen them higher, but they're not too far off. I mean, 92 points. I didn't even see the 91 to 92. You could definitely get there and get the championship, which would be fantastic. Automatic promotion. Liverpool and Aston Villa on the other side. Yeah, I mean, Liverpool do make Champions League in 5th spot. But still, 70 points, you could get up there to Manchester United, maybe Man City, if you took control of this. But Aston Villa is woeful right now. 42 points. You get, 36 goals, a negative 23 goal differential. That hurts. Again, if you took control of this and you were able to pick it up, you could get maybe, 59 is kind of tough. If you're really good, you could get there, but you could at least get to 9th. But still, I mean, there's not that much room there. FM really loves the attacking side, loves those 4-2-4s that we tried out a little while ago, a couple months ago. But overall, this one in this save didn't seem to work. I really would love to know how it worked for Manchester United for Raven, but unfortunately, we don't have that information. So for here, though, I would call this a kind of, yeah. But for here, though, I would call this kind of a painful season. So with that said, I am Sevian FM for the Football Manager blog channel saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.